Well, aside from putting up with the smoky skies here in the valley, you've probably heard the recent report from the Bureau of Reclamation that basically says Lake Mead is low. We know that, and it sounds very scary, but we're at the point where we have to start watching our water consumption. But you know what? We've already been doing that. We're ahead of the curve. We found this out by spending the day with the Southern Nevada Water Authority. So that's the good news. We're already ahead of the curve. The challenging news is that we've got to keep up this good conservation work. I don't care what it says on the side of the vehicle. No one ever wants to see flashing lights come to a stop in front of their home. But this patrol car is not necessarily delivering bad news or a big fine. In fact, this conservation aid may end up saving the homeowner money.
We're more for education rather than like hammering people with fines. We don't really want to, we think educating is much more important. And a lot of people really don't know. A lot of people are not aware that something's happening. People are busy, they don't even realize.
Cameron Donnaroma travels around our community answering reports from people who spot water waste in their neighborhoods and looking for trouble spots himself. Typically, his stops are to inform residents of the problem, like this particular house where there is a pretty significant irrigation leak.
Water Waste Investigator 8776. Today is Monday, August 23rd, 2021 at 7:42 a.m.
Every problem is recorded and documented.
There appears to be an irrigation system leak occurring in the front yard of this property, causing runoff.
He then checks to see if this is a first-time violation or if there had been other attempts to inform the resident of the problem. This being a first-time problem at this address, his job is to indicate where the leak is located with a flag and place information on the garage door explaining the situation and the need to fix it. He often finds residents appreciate him pointing out an issue, knowing it will save them water and money. But if this was a second or third warning at this home, it's a different visit.
So for example, if they are watering on a non-assigned day, if they watered on a non-assigned day in the last 18 months, unfortunately that would be a fine because they were already warned. However, if they have not received a warning for that in the last 18 months, it's going to just be a warning.
Cameron is just part of a much larger effort by Southern Nevada to conserve what is becoming a very precious resource.
There's no doubt that this drought that we've been experiencing in the Colorado River is serious, and we've seen Lake Mead's water levels fall about 140 feet since the year 2000. However, Southern Nevada has done a very good job in managing its water resources.
Bronson Mack says due to lake levels being so low, we are now being allocated 279,000 acre feet of water instead of 300,000. But last year, we only used 255,000 acre feet. So we are already ahead of the problem. Here are some reasons why, starting with Southern Nevada recycling 100% of our indoor water use.
So everything that goes down a drain gets treated by a wastewater treatment facility, and they utilize state-of-the-art wastewater treatment before safely returning that water back to Lake Mead. And for every gallon that we return back to Lake Mead allows us to take another gallon out deep within the lake and bring it into the valley, put it through the drinking water treatment process, and then provide it as potable drinking water.
The same is not true for outdoor water use. We only get to use that once. That prompted important code changes 7 years ago.
Well, in 2004, all of the municipalities in Southern Nevada adopted new development codes that prohibited grass in commercial developments, as well as prohibiting grass in front yards of residential. Now, residential also has a prohibition that only limits grass to 50% of the backyard.
This allows for more development in the valley, but more water-efficient development. If your home was built before 2004, you can still get in on Water Smart landscaping. Your property may be eligible for a $3 per square foot rebate from the Water Authority if you replace it with xeriscaping.
But the first thing you have to do is you have to submit your application to be considered for that rebate. We say it this way: check in, then dig in, and then you can cash in.
So consider trading in your grass for green. Stay on top of the proper year-round water schedule. Monitor your irrigation from time to time to look for leaks. And if you notice a possible violation in your community, feel free to call the Water District Water Patrol to report it. Remember, they're not out here to scold, they're here to school. Bottom line, this is not a time to worry, but it is a time to stay the conservation course.
We still need to keep conserving going forward, as we expect these shortage conditions to last at least for the next few years, if not well into the future.
Bronson says people should really monitor their irrigation system. Step out there when it's running to see if there are any major leaks. He also suggests maybe timing your irrigation system. Take a stopwatch out there. Watch and see how long it takes your yard to become saturated. Look at your stopwatch. That's when the irrigation system should stop before the runoff begins. If you would like to report a problem in your neighborhood or your community, you can do so by going to their website, which is lvvwd.com. There's a lot of great information on there, like watering schedules and some conservation tips.